about the fight. Think about the fight. Clubber Lang's in here. He's trying to hurt you, Rock. He's trying to hurt you. Okay, here he comes. Jab. He's jabbing. He's jabbing. He's trying to hurt you. You gotta fight him. You gotta move.
Nothing in the second meeting. He's up against the rope. Here's the corner.
He's hooking. He's hooking. He's hooking. Damn, Rock, come on. What's the matter with you?
Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
That line always manages to hit hard. Hello everybody, welcome back once again to another Rocky philosophical breakdown. In today's video, I'll be breaking down the rise and fall of Rocky, his reflection with Apollo, and the greatest challenge he has faced yet. So ladies and gentlemen, without wait, let's begin.
It's Creed. Now it's Balboa. Now it's Creed. Now a tremendous left by Rocky. They're standing dead in the center of the ring.
From underdog to heavyweight champion of the world, we start Rocky 3 off by getting to see the fruits of his labor. He finally has it all. Money, fame, success. Rocky finally went the distance. He's everything he ever dreamed of being, but we can't help but feel something is missing, or rather, something has changed. I mean, take a look around. All the flashy suits, the commercials, the set-up fight with Thunderlips, even if it's for charity, doesn't this remind us of someone who we know very well? Rocky has mirrored Apollo Creed, the same confident, controlled champion who once underestimated Rocky. As Rocky poses for pictures, smiling, polished all nice and good, but we the audience can sense it, that Rocky has lost that rough and hungry fire he had in that previous two films. The first person to have really picked this change up is Mick. When Clubber Lang, a hungry underdog, demands a shot at the title, Rocky's more than confident he can take on this guy. However, Mick refuses to give him a shot. Rocky doesn't get what's different between this guy and his last defenses. That is until Mick tells him something that completely shatters what he once thought was real. His fights were hand-picked. The men who challenged Balboa weren't killers. They were more as showpieces for Rocky to beat on. Mick's voice echoes through the walls. Rocky Balboa has become a performer, not a fighter. Not anymore. He got civilized. Rocky tries to brush it off, telling Mick that this is the last fight and they should go out with style. Clubber Lang is a clear shadow of who Rocky once was, a fighter fueled by hunger, wants everything Rocky has, and he's willing to do whatever it takes. Raw and determined, Clubber has the eye of the tiger Rocky lost. Nowhere is this visualized better than the comparison between Rocky and Clubber's training. Clubber is seen training alone in the cold streets in a worn-down gym, nothing but his hunger to fuel him. Then we pan over to Rocky. A rented venue, merchandise, a flashy training suit, pictures taken mid-training. Rocky's not taking his fight seriously at all. This display of vanity is too like one we have already seen the ending of. And much like Apollo's, this one doesn't end too good. Mick hasn't really been doing good since the Thunderlips event, but here is where it all crescendos. Mick dies right after Rocky loses to Clubber Lang. This is one of the most gut-wrenching scenes in the franchise. This is when the truth hits. Rocky isn't just afraid of losing, he's afraid of what losing means. Afraid that Mick was right and he's not the man he thought he was. This time, the person Rocky must defeat in the ring is himself. We see Apollo Creed again in this entry, but this time not as an opponent, rather a reflection. Apollo sees in Rocky what he experienced firsthand, the decay after glory, the dull ache of a man who's forgotten why he fights. Apollo tells Rocky he can get back the eye of the tiger, but it won't come from what Rocky was doing before. It must come from that insatiable hunger Rocky had against Apollo, from the streets, from the heart. This interaction becomes poetic in a way. The man who once represented the complete opposite of who Rocky was is now becoming his mentor. Apollo takes Rocky out of that comfort zone, back into the old school gyms, real sweat and grit and noise and soul. The training isn't glamorous like the first time around. It is solely focused on instilling movement, rhythm, and connection into Rocky. However, we see Rocky isn't putting in all he has in his training anymore. He seems weighed down and stiff. Rocky is shackled by the knowledge that he isn't who he thought he was. Apollo, fed up, yells at Rocky that there is no tomorrow, that Clubber will kill him this time if he doesn't get back up. Apollo's urgency here isn't just about the match, I believe. It's about the urgency to keep living. The world owes you nothing. Every victory, every fight needs to be earned. That you must strive towards excellence because this life is the only shot you get. This is where the main motif of Rocky 3 shines through. In the first Rocky film, it was about going the distance. The second one about standing up and saying, I am. This one is about the Eye of the Tiger, which is more than just a song. It's a state of mind. It represents hunger, the burning need to prove yourself, not only to the audience, but just you. It's not about blind aggression, but focus, reigniting the spark you had before. Once Rocky realizes this, we see the Italian stallion that we have been following come back better than ever. Stronger punches, swifter movements. He trains with purpose and confidence once again. And by the end of his training, Rocky has regained something far more valuable than a title shot. He's regained himself. Rocky, more confident in himself, steps back into the ring with Clubber. This time, however, it isn't about revenge. It's about redemption. Not in the eyes of the crowd, but within his own. Rocky fights like a completely different fighter now. Calm, controlled, and confident. However, keeping with the classic clad iron jaw the stallion is known for. He taunts Clubber into unloading on him early in the round, making Clubber too tired to fight after the third round. When the final punch is landed and Lang collapses, Rocky is overcome with joy. He was able to prove to himself that he hadn't lost his fighting spirit yet, and he still had one more fight in him. Something interesting the third film does that the past two have not is the final shot of the movie before the credits roll. Usually, after Rocky wins, we cut to the credits. However, this movie doesn't end in fanfare. It cuts back to a quiet gym with only Rocky and Apollo there. No fancy lights, no cameras, just Rocky and Apollo. A quiet agreement to settle something only they can understand. I believe this final scene represents for Rocky a return to form. Why he started fighting in the first place. Because it was never about the money or fame or status. Rocky fought because fighting is who he is. Fighters fight. Simple as. A similar motive can be found with Apollo. He is the one who set up this whole idea in the first place. He says it's to clear up the air on who really won in the rematch, but this is way deeper for him. After Apollo lost, he felt as if he had also lost all his life purpose along with the title. Apollo fought for reputation and spectacle. After his pride was extinguished, it left nothing but a charcoal shadow imprinted on him. When he trains with Rocky, he's not just helping him get the title back. Rather, Apollo's trying to reclaim his own fire as well. Stepping into that ring is the culmination of everything they've learned. Apollo may have taught Rocky how to fight with style and rhythm, but Rocky taught him something just as important: humility and the beauty of fighting for something beyond yourself. This is the reason this bout doesn't need an audience. It's two fighters who understand what it is to fight better than anybody else. We as the audience notice the serene quiet of the gym, only interrupted by leather gloves tightening and quiet footsteps. The silent acknowledgement when they touch gloves. This isn't anger nor rivalry anymore. This is mutual respect for each other. That freeze frame at the end is one of the most poetic endings of this franchise. It leaves the outcome ambiguous as both fighters connect at the same time. Because in the end, the point isn't about who wins. What matters is that both men have regained an aspect of themselves thought to be permanently lost. This scene, I believe, is a perfect twist on the first movie's ending. Rocky earns Apollo's respect through sheer will and endurance. And here, Apollo earns Rocky's respect by showing him the path back to that hunger. This is a real full circle moment for these characters. That the fight never ends, it only changes shape. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, then be sure to like it. If you really liked it, make sure to subscribe for more content like this. I have been your introduction to everything philosophy. And until next time, remember to always think like a Stoic.